This video is brought to you by EASYBET. Click the link in the description to sign up and use code FANS50 to receive a 50 Rand sign-up bonus. And also, T&Cs apply. Under 18s are not permitted to gamble.
Welcome to FANS Wethu TV. It's the Betway Premiership. Stellenbosch 0, Kaizer Chiefs 2. I'm joined by the only fan with a PhD.
I was Tibo Ukran
Get Tommy.
No, no. It's always a pleasure talking to you. But anyway, on the first season, on the new season, obviously talking about not even arguably one of the best teams in the Southern Hemisphere, Kaizer Chiefs. They played very well. And when you say Kaizer Chiefs 2 and Stellis 0, it then reminds me to say, no, this is a new season. I know that Kaizer Chiefs has been winning against the Stellis, but they were not used to winning as one may see. But let's talk about this game. Honestly speaking, I think Kaizer Chiefs really showed character. I think for me, when I look at this game, even with the one that I saw of Orlando Pirates, even that of Mamelodi Sundowns, I think for me, because my opinions are close to effect, this was the hardest and the most toughest game that I've ever watched this season. I don't want to tell you a lie. They played against a very tough opponent in Stellis, very tough, tactically gifted. Everyone was willing to fight, and they were fighting. Not only are they gifted, but you look at how many times they've hit the crossbar intentionally, so and very deliberate. So you can tell that when you look at Kaizer Chiefs from the goalkeeper, they were playing your 4-3-3. And when you look at your Aiden McCaith, he gave his body, everything. In cross, he gave it everything that he has. Cardoso, everything he has. Duba, but I think the battle was more won at the middle of the park where Thabo Cele is. When you've got, a 6 or that player that is able to collect play from the back and connecting the midfield with the defense with the midfield and also the strikers. This is one thing that he always did. As much as Stellis was pressing, every time they drop balls, they would find a stable Thabo Cele who's very nice on the ball. And I don't want to overemphasize him as if I'm singling him out because I know all those players played very well. But he was that key player to make sure that the team is always calm in receiving the ball, even under pressure. Remember, the first 30 minutes or so, Kaizer Chiefs were under siege. Everyone, it was like we were watching a repetition of highlights, the way these guys were coming. As much as the Faculty of Engineering, and I can dare tell you this without any shade of a doubt, they've really overworked. I think Kaizer Chiefs of the season, they really invested so much in the Faculty of Chemical Engineering. You can tell, yes, they really.
It's called Toronto.
Yes, no, that's a fact. No, those are facts, definite facts. I can tell you. You know that we've had even fake prophets, fake people talking about Kaizer Chiefs, that Kaizer Chiefs needs to do these rituals, pray and whatsoever. And for all the past decade, Kaizer Chiefs has not really came to the party, no matter how much we prayed. But I think this time they really invested so much in the Faculty of Engineering. Not only that, because we analyze football from an African point of view. This is South African football, and if you want to understand it, it's fine. We're not responsible for that. But you talk about the brilliance of, I think, a serious difference in Thabiso Munyane, whom I think for me has found that spark to say, now I'm going to play. He is now competing to be arguably the best right back in the country. I think it's brought about the hunger, considering the fact that he was playing for Orlando Pirates from the development as a young boy. Obviously, sometimes when you've overstayed your mark or in a particular place, you need to move. And sometimes it's not really because you do not appreciate where you are, but you've overstayed, and you don't really appreciate what you have until you move out of the very same place in Orlando Pirates. But for me today, he had an exceptional game, and this is what he gives Kaizer Chiefs. As much as they started now having the ball maybe towards the end of the 30 minutes, coming into the 30-something minutes, you could tell that from the back they can play and transgress to the second phase of the game in terms of playing the ball, because sometimes you have those defenders that can only defend. But when you talk about their wing backs, the likes of the very same Cross, who played a very crucial role, even when he win the ball, he could go forward and assist in terms of wing play. The same as Thabiso Munyane, he always gave them that thing. And you know, one thing I like about wing backs, defenders are always thinking that as a wing back you are going to release the ball, but we saw Thabiso Munyane always trying to attack as a wing back, and he gives them depth in terms of going forward. But again, let's talk about Duba. I think Duba, a very brilliant player, but he needs some introspection in checking himself. There are those off the field things, not off the field. Let me not say this, but some element of certain behaviors when you play, like you are very bully, you can get players injured. Remember, for you to play football, you need to play with other players, and if you're going to be threat in terms of getting other players injured and stuff, that's a bad habit. But him as a player and the hunger, I understand that. But again, let's talk about the combination of Thabo Cele and Kosingiphile Ngcobo. This is what I was saying to my fellow brothers a few weeks back. I said, if Kosingiphile Ngcobo can gain some weight, can lose some weight rather, not only losing, but doing it naturally. There's a huge difference when you lose weight, but you don't have the energy. But now he has lost weight, but it shows that it comes from the training ground and from training. I said, if Kosingiphile Ngcobo can be that fit and plays with Thabo Cele, because the battle is in the middle of the park, whereby you need midfielders who can hold play, who can tell you, give me the ball, as you don't know what to do about it. You need a typical South African kind of Kaizer Chiefs midfielder who's always ready to receive a ball. You understand? It's like if it's like someone who says to me, it's like someone who says, I couldn't propose or I couldn't talk to the lady because she was with her friends. A person who does not call for the ball while they've got a defender next to them or someone who's marking them, they are like that person who says, I cannot ask her to talk to me because she's with her friend. It means Waitaba. But a player or a midfielder that is always willing to receive the ball is a player or a boy or guy who's willing to talk to that girlfriend, even in the presence of anyone. You understand? Because you've got the confidence. Okay, receiver or scanner, it doesn't matter, because football is played in the midst of people, and there's no congested play or place in terms of football rather than in the middle of the park. That's why you have to win more balls and have more ball playing players at the middle of the park. In fact, the most versatile player, because remember, when I talk about football, I don't Google. I'm beyond Google, because we can never compare ourselves to something that already is there. But here is what you have. You need to have the most versatile players at the middle of the park, ball playing players and defensive players at the same time. If you were to talk about the likes of Godfrey Sapula, a typical example of what I will tell you about, a player that can be hard but also be willing to play. And by the way, I did have, before Kaizer Chiefs won the league, won the Nedbank, I spoke to Thabo Cele. I said, you are a great player. Unfortunately, you won't be seen now because you come at an era where Kaizer Chiefs is experiencing the worst. But I said to him, time will come and Kaizer Chiefs will achieve a lot under you or under your guidance. You can tell he's got a leadership skill. Miguel Cardoso, leadership skill, but an element of cards. He's always getting himself into cards or always getting himself bookings, and he can likely cost Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm not there. But you talk about their goalkeeper, even in those balls that hit the crossbars, obviously assisted by the chemical engineering department, he was always there. But you talk about that goal or that pass that was received by Kanaba Wisite Manko boxing, Vilagaz. I immediately stated that, yes, Because we reason beyond even VAR. I even said immediately, I said a definite red card.
Yes.
It doesn't matter from where I am, whether I become a Pirates supporter or otherwise, or anyhow. I've got a progressive sense. That was a definite, because Stivo, if you're a last man of defense, and it's a clear goal scoring opportunity, any foul, any tackle, it's a definite penalty, or it's a definite red card and a foul. There's no such thing as you cannot give a foul and give a red card. That's a definite red card any day. And let me tell you, even if Silo Saseka can say otherwise, I'll dare revoke his license, because I'm the only person who qualifies to do that. But let's talk about the accuracy of that ball. He takes it with his left, and every time you kick the ball. Remember, that was not just a shoot. It was a technique that goes straight to the keeper. Because you hit it inside your leg, it then swift like a banana kale. It means the goalkeeper will think they will size the ball that it will come this side, but because it's sweeping.
Spinner.
Yeah, spinner. That's why it scored. That's why there was a goal. But you talk about I like how Villagas was introduced towards the end of the ball. He starts play from the far left. He plays with the left. He cuts in. Wherever he realizes that someone is going to take the ball from me, he just releases it and wait for a 1-2. But again, there was a ball, more boxing, and he realizes that I'm obstructing play. He then moved and shifts to the other side. They bring the ball again to him as is to the left side of the goalkeeper. But then he realizes, I don't need that football intelligence and football brains at its best. You realize that the angle is now tight, obviously. He then realizes that I don't have to take a shot at goal. He drop it inside the box. And then unfortunately, it was cleared by the defender. But again, you talk about the very same, another incident where I said Kaizer Chiefs needs to introduce a speedy player. I thought this was the day when number 77 is going to shine. But as I saw a Dupree about to get in, I said, yes, this is the kind of player that they need. They won that penalty on speed, not because that guy was not good. He thought he was clearing the ball. But the brilliance and the quickness of Dupree allowed him to have the ball before he could have it. That's what resulted into a penalty. Remember, you have to make a mistake for you to get a penalty. His intention was to clear the ball, and he was sure. But a Dupree is more faster than the blinking of an eye, and he definitely won them a penalty. But again, it's not a fluke. Some other people say penalties are a lottery. No. No, they are not a lottery. They are a lottery if you are incapable of the accuracy. You look at how he banged that ball. He placed it with power. He showed him, or I'm going to your left, but he placed it to his right. And the goalkeeper was not crazy. He did not smoke anything to go to the other side or to the wrong direction. Penalties are not a lottery. Then I'm the only person who's more qualified to tell you that. No, skill. It's like saying someone saying, how? Kisieta, why says he 10,000 songs over 100 rand? He got two zonke. No. Haitwani, chief. You cannot say Uri. Urekile libito. Wabatwa totally jealous. But he bought a name. No. Louis Vuitton made his name towards even the other one at 10 rand in a libito lion. Yes. So all of them, they've got names. Thank you. Yes.